year 5. Okay, we're going back to verbal reasoning, and like the last few weeks, this is more of a revision session. So you'll have seen some of these techniques before. So let's make a start. I'm going to move to the side so you can see. It says, in these questions, the same letter must fit in to both sets of brackets. Okay, to complete the word in front of the brackets and begin the word after the brackets. Find this letter and mark it on your answer sheet. Now you might remember this one from last time, okay? I strongly suggest for these questions you get a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can work it out with me, because at times I'm going to be pausing as well so you can have a go. So remember, my handy hint for these ones is to think actually what makes sense in terms of what you know about letters. So if we have a little look, straight away I know that I can rule out, okay, P, and I'll tell you why. Because if I look at the first letters I've got here, M, E, A, if I added P there, meep isn't a word. So I know it can't be P. However, I look at N. If I was to move the N into here, I would get the word mean. That does work as a word. However, if I have the N here and then I use that to begin my next word, neighbour is not a word, so it can't be N. So I can move my way through these quite quickly. So if I look at F, I know, just if I imagine that going there in my head, meef, not a word, can't be F. So I'm going to look at the next one. I've got T. Right, let's have a look. So if I put the T in here, I've got meet, and then I start the T again, and I've got table, and then I've got to use the same letter for these brackets here. So now I've got sit, that also works, and then the last one I've got top. That also works. So the answer for that one is going to be T. So let's move on to the next, the solution. So it says the same letter that fits into both sets of brackets to form 4 words is T. The 4 new words are meet, table, sit and top. Let's move on to the next ones. Now at this point you can pause and have a go by yourself. Hopefully you have the answers, well done. Okay, so again, let's use our common sense and think, what can we rule out straight away? Well, I can rule out P straight away because fleep or pish, not a word. So I next move on, and I've got W, and I'm thinking, oh wow, that looks like a word. And if you're not sure if it's a word, write it down, because sometimes that helps. Okay, I've got flew, and then I'm gonna have wish. Okay, looking good so far. Got to have the same letter here, and without even writing it down, I know it's slow and waste. So that one's going to be W. So that works perfectly. So B is my correct answer. Well done if you got it right. Let's look at the next one. Now I love this one because we've got a Q word, Q-U-O-T, kind of quat that looks like. Now I know there's not a massive amount of Q words in the world. So H there, it says him, but an H on the end of that Q word is not going to work. Then I'm going to have a look at E. Now this is a word. The word quote. You give an amount of money for something, a quote for something. But unfortunately, if I put an E in here, I've got the word I'm, so that's not going to work. So it might work sometimes, but not for all of the letters you need. So I'm going to get A, and another word that might be new to you is the word quota, which means an amount of something. Now it might be useful to get your dictionary out, okay, and have it next door to you if there's any words you're not sure of. So I've got the A there, and on the other side I've got aim, like the aim of a ball, for example, and then I've got tea. I drink a cup of tea. This word might. be new to you. That word is acre, which is a measurement of land often. You might say, well, someone has 12 acres of land. They would have a massive garden if they had 12 acres of land. So my correct answer is A, without even looking at the other ones. Let's move on. Okay, 2 more. I'm going to pause, move out of the way. You're going to have a go. Hopefully you've had a go. Again, when I looked at this one, number 25, I thought, gosh, this is a weird one because I looked at the first letters here, I-N-C, and I thought, gosh, well, what letter's going to go on the end of there to make sense? So actually, I really quickly, so I could start to speed up, I ran my eyes through these and I just thought, yeah, none of them. But the only one that works is H. And I get the word inch. So almost straight away I've got the answer, because then I've got, thank you to my handy assistant, I've got inch, heat, mesh, you might want to look that word up, and hide. So I did that one super quick, okay? Let's have a look at the next one, 26. So again, what I'm going to do is just focus on, look at this actually this time, U-N-C-H. Now straight away, I could have bunch, I could have lunch, I could have punch, I could have munch, tunch. Not a word, I'm going to get rid of T. Okay, let's look at S-O-U then. So S-O-U-B, sound, no, doesn't work. Soul, that works. And then if I use that, because I've got the L in here, and I then can have B-E-L-L, and then L for light. So B is going to be my correct answer. So we're kind of using process of elimination, okay? Right, you might recognise these again from last time. Let's have a little read, first of all, just to remind ourselves of the technique. It says, in these questions, the 3 words in the second group should go together in the same way as the 3 in the first group. Find the word that is missing in the second group and mark it on the answer sheet. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look here at my words for my example. I've got man and I've got tip. Somehow they've taken some letters from man and letters from tip and they've created the word mat in the middle. Now, the M, there's only one M here, which means they've taken the first letter. M goes to there, okay? Joins to the first M. Thank you, my handy assistant. I've also only got one A that can match up to the middle A. So you've got the first 2 letters of the first word I've taken, and the T must come, okay, from this T on tip. So what I'm going to do is exactly the same thing over here. I'm going to take the first 2 letters, B and U, just like I took the first 2 letters here, M and A. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the first letter of the last word and put it in there. So I've got the word bud. Luckily, I have answer A is bud, so I've got it correct. Let's look at the solution they give us. The first 2 letters of man and the first letter of tip are put together to make the word mat. In the same way, the first 2 letters of the word bug and the first letter of the word Jew are put together to make the word bud. Okay? So let's move on, let's have a look then. So you can see we've got some slightly longer words here. I suggest that you get, again, a new piece of pen, a piece of paper and a pencil or pen to help you. So, what we do is we're going to look, okay, and we've got an N here, right? So we look in this first word, do I have an N? No, I don't. Do I have an N here? Yes, I do. So I'm going to look at the last letter, okay? So now what I'm going to do, there we go, I know now, okay, that my new word must start with a G. So I'm going to get rid of the answer A, get rid of the answer B, get rid of near, and I'm going to keep game and gate, okay? So now I go back, let's look at the E. Again, I've only got one E. It comes in search, the second letter. We do the same thing. I've got A. Now, both of our answers have got GA. Okay, so we're going along the right lines. Now, let's have a look. The A came from the third letter of search. So I do the same. I look at the third letter of camera, which is M. So the only possible answer can be game. I don't even need to work out the last bit, okay? 2 examples you've had, so I'm just going to quickly stand over here while you have a go at number 31. Pause. Okay, hopefully you've had a go. So now let's have a look at 31. So I've got pin, pit, lit. The word I'm making, okay, is pit, and I can see that I've taken this P here, the first letter. So I'm going to take the first letter, which is R. Let's put R here. Now I'm going to get rid of C straight away, and I'm going to get rid of E straight away. So I'm left with 3 options, makes it easier for me. Now comes the little problem, okay? We know the first letter is going to be R. But with this, okay, here we've got the I in the middle. The I either comes from here, the middle of pin, and it also might come from here, the middle of lit. So we've got 2 options. Both words are going to start with R, but they're either going to be R-U or it's going to be R-A. I don't know which one it's going to be yet, and that doesn't matter. That means I can keep all these options up, okay, because they're R-U or R-A. So now we look at the last letter, which is T, and that must come from the T of lit, which means I take here the Y. So I now know that my last letter is going to be Y. So I'm left with ray, not a word, or ray, which is a word. So my answer is going to be A. So that one is a kind of process of elimination, and you might have a few options, and you can write it out the same way I did to help you. Let's look at the last one together. I'm going to let you pause. Okay, last one. So we've got grand, dealt, and we've created art. The same problem. I've got an A, and I've got 2 possible A's. Both of them are the third letter of the word. So let's have a look. It's either going to be, okay, our new word is going to be R, or it's going to be E. So I'm going to write that down as my option. My new word is going to start with R or E, okay? So I can get rid, therefore, of bag. I can get rid of bar. I can get rid of car, okay? So actually I'm going to work this one out quite quickly. Now I'm going to look at the R. Now the R can only come from the second letter of the first word. I do the same thing here. Second letter, I'm going to have an A. So if I put an A here and an A here and look at my options, both of them have got A. So I'm going to keep going. Let's look at T. Now the T can only come from the last letter of dealt. So I'm going to take my last letter of clear, and I've noticed that's an R, and that tells me that my R will go there and there. I've only got one option it can possibly be, which is going to be ear. Okay? So you're going to be sent home some questions that are very similar to that, and the screenshots as well. Take your time, okay, to go through all of them, and have a great weekend, and I will speak to you soon. Okay, bye!